Okay, so let's just jump right in. A massive plot leak for the next Avengers movie has apparently hit the internet. And I mean, it seems to lay out the entire story. So if you are not ready for some major spoilers, this is your one and only warning. Seriously. All right, let's do this.
And listen, this isn't just some fan theory floating around on Reddit. According to the sources we're looking at, multiple trustworthy insiders have basically verified that this is the real deal. Now, of course, things can always change with reshoots, but what we're about to go through is reportedly the core plot, from beginning to end. You ready?
So, how does a movie this big even kick off? Well, not just with a bang, but by literally wiping an entire familiar universe right off the map, and taking one of our most beloved heroes with it.
We open in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man reality. But he's not fighting some classic villain. Nope. He's fighting Deadpool and Wolverine, who have been sent there on this grim mission to destroy his entire world to stop a bigger catastrophe called an incursion. Wolverine activates the device and then just stays behind, dying alongside Spider-Man, as their whole reality is just pruned from existence. A totally brutal, shocking way to start a movie.
And yeah, the reaction from the original source pretty much sums up how a lot of us might feel, right? After all the hype and excitement of seeing Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man, to just have him wiped out in the first few minutes, that's a bold move. But, like they said, it all comes down to execution.
So from that absolute tragedy of an opening, the story flips, and it jumps back in time to an ending we thought we already knew. Steve Rogers finally getting his dance and his life with Peggy Carter. But it turns out there's a secret chapter we never got to see.
Yep, it happened. Steve actually gets his happy ending. He and Peggy build a life, a family, and they have a son named Jim. This is the life he fought for, the one he always wanted. But, you know, this is the MCU. That piece, it can't last.
And for 10 whole years, they lived the seemingly perfect life. But here's the twist. They aren't in their original timeline. They're actually hiding out on Earth 828, a kind of safe haven that was given to them by a very unexpected visitor. Get this. Loki himself shows up. He warns Steve that the Time Variance Authority, the TVA, is on its way to erase his new family from existence. So Loki uses his power to move all of them to the safety of Earth 828, gives Steve a way to contact him, and then vanishes. This one act of kindness, though, is what kicks off the entire devastating plot.
Okay, so now we flash forward to that new reality where the smartest minds on Earth 828 have just discovered a terrifying truth, and it's forcing them to ask for help from heroes all across the multiverse. So here's the deal on Earth 828. You've got Dr. Doom and Reed Richards, and they realize their entire universe is on the brink of collapsing into another one. And the cause? It's an anomaly named Steve Rogers. His very presence there is screwing up reality. Their wild, desperate plan is to build these gigantic cannons across the last few Earths to literally blast the realities apart. And to pull it off, they need the help of the Avengers from the main MCU timeline, Earth 616.
But when the Avengers show up to help, the first people they meet aren't so friendly. It's a battle-hardened and frankly hostile team of X-Men. See, these mutants have already lived through multiple incursions, they've lost entire worlds, and they are in no mood to trust a bunch of outsiders. So right away, you've got this massive hero-on-hero conflict brewing.
So the heroes are united, the plan is in motion, everyone's focused on building these cannons to save the multiverse, but you know where this is going. They're all just pawns in a much darker game.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is Dr. Doom, one of Marvel's greatest villains ever, really just trying to be a good guy here? Or is he maybe distracting everybody from what he's actually doing behind the scenes?
Well, Steve and Thor use that card Loki gave them, and they pop over to the TVA hoping he can give them some answers. What they find is just a massacre. The entire TVA is dead. And Loki, he's there, with his heart literally ripped from his chest. They realize Doom is behind everything.
So Steve confronts Doom, and the whole horrifying truth just spills out. Doom never wanted to stop the incursions, he wanted to let them happen. His actual goal was to harness all that destructive power to erase everything, and then rebuild a new universe where his family, who we lost, was still alive.
And just to make his revenge as brutally personal as possible, Doom blames Steve's presence on Earth 822 for the incursion that killed his own family. So in this twisted act of an eye for an eye, he murders Steve's son, Jim, right there, in front of him. The betrayal is absolute. The villain is revealed, and now there's no plan left
but one. Stop Dr. Doom as the final reality begins to collapse on top of everyone. With Doom's real plan out in the open, every hero left standing, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, they all unite and descend on his castle in Latveria. Thor even prays to Odin and summons an army of the dead from Valhalla. I mean, this is it, the ultimate, final war to save what's left of existence.
And they lose. The heroes fail. The final incursion happens, and everything is wiped out. But Doom, who stole Loki's godlike power when he ripped his heart out, survives. And he uses that power to stitch together all the broken pieces of dead realities into one single false planet, Battleworld. He resurrects everyone, but he wipes their memories, and he rules over them all as God Emperor Doom. He's not just a king, he's the literal god of this new, broken reality. And that's the cliffhanger that leads directly into the next film, Secret Wars.
Okay, so... wow. That is the story. But as the original sources point out, when you get a leak this detailed, you also start to see some potential problems, and it definitely raises a lot of questions.
So here's the first big one. The leak is a little fuzzy on this, but it seems to imply that Doom killing Loki is what truly kicked off the final, catastrophic wave of incursions. But wait a minute, wasn't Loki the one holding the entire multiverse together? So did Doom's actions cause the very problem he was claiming to solve? It's unclear.
And that leads to another big point. If Doom stole Loki's power during that big Avengers vs. X-Men fight, why did he even need this whole elaborate plan with the giant cannons? Was it all just a really complicated distraction to keep the heroes busy while he went after the real prize? It kind of feels like there might be a few details missing here.
Ultimately, the feeling from the source material really captures it perfectly. I mean, on paper, killing off beloved characters and ending on such a massive downer, that's incredibly risky. It probably won't sit well with a lot of fans, but a great script and perfect direction can make any story work. It really is all in the execution.
And that leaves us with the final billion-dollar question. With a plot this dark, this ambitious, can they actually pull it off and create an epic masterpiece? Or, if it's not handled perfectly, could one of the biggest movies of all time end up being one of its biggest disappointments? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.